Title of this video is When Someone Says I Need Space. So this is apparently so much a trigger topic because I've had a big argument on Facebook under a post of Teal Swan, where Teal Swan said that if somebody says I need space, it is done so out of inauthenticity. Somebody is not authentic and they use this phrase to hide their needs, their wants, their boundaries. Because if somebody says I need space, their boundaries have been crossed. Their needs are not being met. So instead of talking about the needs, the wants, the feelings, the boundaries, person doesn't talk about any of that. The person just says I need space. So therefore it is logical, very logical, this is not rocket science we're talking about here, to assume that the person is not being authentic. Yet somehow, magically, this has upset a lot of people that I posted this. Like rage comments, people insulting me, people telling me how this one is generalizing, etc. Generalizing. So you are telling me there are situations in which you say, I need space, without hiding your feelings, your wants, your needs. In what world are you living in? And what kind of fantasy do you have to be in to assume that somehow I need space, that phrase alone, I need space, 3 words, that somehow this is communicating what your needs are, what your feelings are, what your boundaries are, what has happened to trigger that response. Somehow you are living in some kind of a fantasy world to assume that this is communication. And this is honest, authentic, open, sharing. So somehow we are living in a world in which there are a lot of people who are somehow not self-reflecting, not honest about what they are feeling or experiencing when they say this. As if somehow people are supposed to read your mind and know why you need space. So there is a hidden, unspoken expectation that everybody knows exactly what is in your mind. Everybody knows, everybody's just supposed to somehow know. It's supposed to be a given that you need space. Why? And anybody that says you're not being authentic, you're not saying how you feel, it's their problem. And you're not responsible. You're not accountable for the lack of information that you provide. So, therefore, anybody who argues this statement, the generalizing, I need space is healthy and I need to say this, it's avoiding accountability. And are we in kindergarten? I'm sorry, but I have to share my thoughts and my feelings here, which of course most of you people are not doing when you say that you need space. So let me do it for you, yeah? So if I say to somebody I need space and I remove myself from them, and I may take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, how many days to get back to them? I am basically telling them, look, I am going to ghost you and disappear for a few days. Don't talk to me. Don't interact with me. Don't ask me why I'm doing this. Don't ask me why I need space. Just respect that I need space from you, and somehow I will just live with the fact that I let you wonder what the hell it is that you did wrong. Because humans, believe it or not, when you tell somebody you need space from them, the first thing their mind is going to do is to ask themselves, what did I do wrong? And if you use the phrase, I need space, are you telling them what they did wrong? Are you telling them how they hurt you? Are you telling them how much you have violated them? I mean, how much they have violated you? Are you telling them what is going on emotionally inside you? Because if you do, you could fix it right then and there. You wouldn't even tell that person that you need space if you just told them what the fucking problem is and fix it. But no. You are so authentic. You are such a honest and non-manipulative person. You are so considerate and empathic that you tell somebody I need space and let them sit in their juices, wondering what the hell is going on, dysregulated, frightened, guilty, ashamed, and confused, but you are being authentic. So it's a profound lack of awareness. Awareness of emotion. You're not aware how the phrase I need space is damaging, hurting another human. You're not aware what the consequences of that phrase are. You're not aware that it's not really telling anything, and that you not communicating anything is actually wrong. Not even aware of that. My goodness. What kind of a madhouse are we living in? For people to not be aware of something as some fucking essential and basic as that. But people will continue to use this phrase. Will justify it. And the moment somebody calls them out on it, you are being selfish. You don't allow me to have my space. You're trying to control me. Right? That's what the narcissist says. You're trying to control me. Did you ever have a relationship with a narcissist? A narcissist says you're trying to control me. It's their favorite thing to say. Oh, you're giving me a requirement for communication. You're putting the pressure on me to talk about my feelings, about my needs. You're putting the pressure on me to try to resolve the conflict I have with you. It's an imbalance of power. Because if you tell somebody that you need space, you are in control of the situation. You are in control of when you're going to come back. You're in control of the fact that they'll be there for you when you come back, while you are not being there for them. And you're not giving them any chance to talk about their feelings, their confusion, their problems. You're just avoiding all of that. And you're now in a position where you cannot be touched. Nobody can say anything to you, because the moment that somebody says, hey, can you not take space for 1 second and actually tell me what's wrong, you can just tell them that they are trying to control you. Checkmate. You have created a no-win situation. The other party cannot say anything to you, cannot do anything to you, because you need your space, and other people are just supposed to suck it up and accept it that you are refusing to communicate. You are refusing to make boundaries. You're refusing to tell them what your needs are, and you expect them to just suck it up. Just be dysregulated, be confused, feel guilty, wonder you did something wrong. Because it's none of your business, right? It's not your responsibility for your actions and how they impact the other person when you say that you need space. Because you are the victim. You need your space. You need to be considered. You need to distance yourself from the other person. And in this distance, other person is just left wondering what the fuck is going on. And if you're mad with them, and if you are going to maintain the relationship because you're no longer trustworthy, you have now forfeit your trustworthiness because you're not there for them. And you could do this at any time again, which forces the other person to walk on eggshells around you, wondering if the next time that they talk about their feelings and their needs, that you're going to say, this is too much for me, I need space, you're putting too much pressure on me. Which of course will put a conditioning onto them. It will mind control them. It will condition them to now be very careful about how they treat you, because they never want to feel like this again when you told them that you need space. They never want to feel this feeling that you left them with, which you were so mysteriously somehow unaware of. Like, you don't have basic awareness of how your actions impact other people. You don't know anything. You're so delusional to believe that it is justified, that it is just collateral damage. Other people are just, they can just suck it up. They can just suffer. It doesn't matter because your space is more important. Your feelings are the only thing that you care about when you say that. You don't care about the other person's feelings. But somehow, Teal Swan, somehow me, we're generalizing things and we're trying to control you. And then you will come up with the argument of, oh, but what if the narcissist is abusing you and you can't even say that you need space? Then don't say you need space. Just tell them that you're not going to be abused. And if they don't stop, that you leave. But instead, you want to say, I need space, so you can avoid the conflict, which is right there. There is a conflict there. And everybody that you're telling this to, they know. People aren't retarded. People know that you have a conflict with them if you tell them this. Oh no, I don't have a conflict. I just need to regenerate. I just need to alleviate my anxiety at the cost of the other person's anxiety, which actually is a form of psychic dumping. Is making the other person responsible for your feelings, because you're not responsible for your feelings. You're not standing up for them. You're not talking about them. You're not doing anything. You're just removing yourself. Yeah, and you're so superior on your high horse. Yeah, I just removed myself from the situation because I don't want to have any conflict with anybody. I don't want any drama. You are the drama if you say I need space. There's nobody who's more drama than that, to give somebody the silent treatment, to stonewall. But because you said I need space, the magical 3 words you have said to give you permission to abuse another person. Oh no, I'm not abusing. Why are you being so controlling? Why are you being so dramatic? I am just taking a time out. I am just healing. And while you're healing, other person is suffering. Oh, but it's their problem. And somehow there's no other solution available. You couldn't possibly come up with another way to fix the problem that you have, whatever the fuck the problem is, except to ghost or stonewall. But no, I am taking space. I'm not stonewalling. Yes, you are stonewalling. You just found a phrase to justify it. And of course, everybody accepts it. Because, of course, anybody that questions, anybody that challenges you, they're an evil person, they're a narcissist trying to control you, and they're just being needy, they're just being selfish, They don't respect your boundaries, which is, by the way, not a boundary. It's just you're just disappearing, just ghosting. They're not respecting your need for privacy, which is not private. You're just again ghosting. And somehow we live in a fantasy world again, in which actions don't have consequences, in which there's only your feelings, there's only your perspective, and whoever doesn't respect it, they're a narcissist. They're evil. They're a control freak. Teals one is a narcissist. Do you know how many people say that? Isn't that ironic? That somehow we call everybody a narcissist who's telling us that we did something that negatively impacted their emotions. And they are selfish because how dare they try to tell us what to do, how to behave if we hurt their feelings? Because it's just feelings, right? Who gives a shit? Right? Who cares about their feelings? It's only about you. But anyways, that is all I wanted to really say about this subject. For anybody who's delusional enough to keep arguing that somehow this phrase is justified, you're delusional. And if you come to my comment section again to try to argue with me about it, how about I block your ass? And I simply tell you that if you insist on your space, you are a fake. You are operating from a false self overlay. A false self is built on the premise that you don't have to show yourself. Don't have to show your feelings, your needs, your problems. All you need to do is to say the magical words, I need space. And of course, then you don't know what to do because it's the only way you know how to self-regulate, how to fix your problems. So if people take away your only option to solve a problem, of course other people are the problem, right? Of course you're just an innocent victim. Why aren't you allowed to use your pathological maladaptive response? And why somehow is it other people like me or Teal Swan or your secure attached partner who has to tell you how these things work? Why do we have to explain this? What kind of a medieval dark ages are we living in that we need to tell each other that it's not okay to do this? And we have to explain alternatives, right? You want an alternative solution. Well, what the hell? I don't know your situation. I don't know when you said you need space. Maybe you said you need space when your coworker was constantly intruding on your workplace and was bullying you. Then you can say you need space if you want to. Nobody cares. Nobody judges you for that. But is that really why you normally say it? At the workplace when somebody bullies you? Or do you say it when your partner is asking for their needs, their emotions to be met? Oh no, they're just being a narcissist, they're just being needy. So I have no idea what kind of delusional fantasy world you're living in which you can justify your actions. I don't know if your actions are justified or not. All I know is this, that every single time I've heard somebody say this, that person was delusional. Every single time. If you can give me one example, just one. Just not a theoretical example, no. Not the theoretical example of the workplace bully. A real example in real life where somebody actually says I need space and it's justified. I want one. Uno. And unless you can give me that, I will insist on the fact that this is a delusional fantasy defense and a false self-overlay, and anybody who argues, get blocked immediately. Get the fuck out of my page. What are you arguing for? What are you defending? Who are you defending? And what is the consequence of you defending that statement? Because how many people in this world have to suffer because they don't know what to do when you tell them that you need space? They're not allowed to communicate to you because you're gone now. You're stonewalling. They can't ask you to clarify because you need your space, right? So no clarifying. You need your space, right? So no communicating. So how are we gonna do anything? Because if they tell you that you are being selfish, you just flip it around and call them selfish. So they're in a double bind situation. It's called a Kafka trap. Look it up. So now you have created a situation in which you always win and they always lose. So therefore you are happy. You are getting what you want. So everybody has to cater to that. Everybody has to submit to your I need space phrase. And you can go along without suffering any consequences for this evil action. So of course, because it works for you, you can just block me. And block me fast. Rant over.